There's a whole bunch of holes in the side of this boat, so it's time to cut them open. And this all happened by the aluminum container that smashed into the side of the hull of a hurricane barrel.
Next one.
The big one! Let's do this!
The big one.
The big one! So basically what you're seeing now is we'll keep grinding the hole bigger and bigger up until the point where the delamination stops. If balsa wood is wet, it just has to go out. It will not really dry from itself. Like here, this is still stuck. It's the sandwich is still hard, so that's the end of the damage. And for an example, here on the back, it's like here you can see it's still loose. So where the two plates are still stuck to the core, that's what can stay. You call this a sandwich, where you have two plates of fiberglass and then the core material in the middle. So if only one side is delaminated, you can also only take that side off, and then if the core is still dry, put new fiberglass on that side. But here, this area basically exploded and the fiberglass is loose on both sides.
By cutting the hole, we find out that actually here is a nice bulkhead, because the chain plate is there, so they make here one and they make here one. So that's good. So the container just hit it in the middle of the two. So this is still solid and this is still solid. Okay, has some damage here, maybe this is water intrusion, or I don't care, but it took a hit. So sometimes you see a small crack, but does not always mean that it's broken totally. So normally the crack is in the corner, so we're gonna take the gel coat off and then we will see if it's really broken, but this has to be renewed. So we're gonna grind it down, put new foam core in. No, I don't like balsa, but foam core cannot go wet. It's a closed cell structure. So we have it, we're gonna glue it in, we're gonna grind this all down, put matting on, then matting on the inside and ready.
I want to take a quick moment to thank all of you guys for watching. A special thanks to all of the patrons. The upper tier patrons are on the wall of the boat. It is also the only time that from the wall of the boat you can look through a big hole to the outside. That's hole number 2. Let's do
3.
delamination massive hole number 3. So you guys remember from the sanding, I used beer crates to stand on, be a bit more stable. Let's keep grinding. Further to see where the delamination stops. So this is closed cell PVC core. The name is Divinicel. There's 3 different strengths. You have H45, H60, H80. And basically the H80 is less flexible than the H45. So for this price I wanted to have either H60 or H80. It was really difficult to get here. Island Waterworld, the big marine store in the main islands, sometimes has H80. But it was like a month and a half order time. So a friendly cruiser brought this for me from Martinique, where they did have it in stock. So that's what we're gonna put in. There's also no possibility for this core for water to come in or stay in, unlike the current core that's in the boat. Basically, this is an upgrade from balsa. There's a structural material. I wish the whole boat was done with this, but yeah, I don't think we're gonna redo the whole boat with this. That would take a couple years extra. As you can see, I'll show you, this is a piece of the balsa core material, and it is exactly the same thickness, 19 or 20 millimeter. Second difference with H80 versus H45 is that H80, if you press here, is just a lot denser. So if you're gonna put a layer of matting here and here, this will be a lot stronger than with H45 Divinicel plate.
No problem.
Oh, hello. I also have a little bit of bad news. As you guys know, Daniela is back to study. She has to study 2.5 more years, and we talked about it for a very long time, and we decided that it's best to take a step back and stay friends for now. So when I go to Colombia, you'll see her again, but we're gonna stay friends for now. This is how life goes. Sometimes it's not exactly the way you want it, but we mutually decided this was the best for now. So it is what it is. But yeah, that does mean the channel name is gonna change. Let's continue. The hole has to be bigger. So here you can see,
Just to check.
this is still stuck. So at least here is where the damage ends for this region.
But here it's wet.
But here it's still wet.
You stick the finger in the dike.
So here it needs to continue.
Yeah.
That's still wet.
But that's old damage. That's not. It's not from now.
This old damage?
Yeah. I see it. There was something here, like a repair, old repair or something. This is not the from now, because it's too brown as a color. This cannot happen in a week or a month. This is rot. It's from long time wet. So I think there was something that was not totally okay here.
This whole leak is behind here. So all this old brown color that you see, the water leak, all comes because of a repair of this handrail of the toilet. I mean, this is the toilet. I got it's some storage now, the toilet room, but that's where the leak comes from. Now we're grinding a frame for the new core to be glued on with epoxy. So this is a note to self. A minor leak in the handrail can lead to serious core damage.
Exactly.
So you can see the difference between not a bulkhead. See how thin this is?
Here's the bulkhead.
And then you see here the bulkhead.
So normally there's a reinforcement 20 centimeters wider than the bulkhead. So we're going to reinforce it from the outside, and we're going to reinforce from the inside. But this is already perfect.
See how thick this is compared to the rest. I hope I don't over explain it to you guys. I'm trying to explain it in a way that I understand it myself. We're taping a piece of plastic on. Normally you do that with clear plastic. We just don't have it here, so we use what we got. So don't judge us on the type of plastic we use. And then we can write down the shape that we need and then cut out on the Divinicel. Then we're gonna put it in epoxy so that when it goes to rain, it will be watertight. We're using West System epoxy, the resin and the hardener. And it's 5:1. It's really important you get that right, because otherwise it looks hard, but it really isn't. It isn't how it's supposed to be, so that's really important. First mix is going to be 125 gram, and we're gonna do that with 25 grams of hardener. Needs to be absolutely exact. And the paste is ready.
Peanut butter.
Like peanut butter.
So later we're gonna grind on the inside and put another matting. But this is now only to glue it in. Because maybe it's broken on the inside also, but we start from the outside, then we have a body on the outside, we grind it on the inside, and then you have the sandwich construction again. So let's see if it fits, because it has to come out totally. It has to go deeper than the laminate. Because the thickness of the laminate must come extra. So we go deeper.
Okay.
Anyway, we're gonna grind the inside from this one also.
with a bunch of cuts, so there's more
because it's not flat. You see?
and you have this material too where it's like in blocks, and then it's more bendable, but it was just not available.
Not available.
So just made blocks with a Stanley knife in it. Now it's more, because it's a big surface and obviously it's a bit bent, it needs to be in a bent shape. At 3 spots, here, here, and here we added a screw just because it was sticking out a little bit, just for the night, to make 100% sure it stays as deep inside as we want until the epoxy dries.